So where do you think your confidence comes from?
I think it's an interesting question. I think it comes from like my upbringing and my parents, like my mom and my dad, like they're both very confident people. And I think a lot of people confuse like confidence with being like a very like outspoken or extroverted person, which I don't think I am. I think I'm more
You don't think so?
I think I knew you were going to say this. I think I'm more of an introvert, and that's what I think like the difference is. Like I think you can be confident and still be introverted and still like your space and like your quiet time and stuff like that, but you still are confident and have this like way about you or whatever. But
yeah, I agree, because I feel like you and Carly have that same type of confidence where you're comfortable with who you are, but you guys, it manifests in different ways.
Right.
So you're more
I think in
social.
comparison to Carly or even to my other sister, Gina Marie, I think people are like, she's the extroverted one. So maybe in comparison, sure.
Right.
Because I can be kind of the ham of the group.
No, you.
Kind of the clown, the class clown. But I don't know. I think it is something that is like comes from my parents and like how I grew up, and I think my mom and my dad too were always very reassuring about like be who you are, be yourself, be who you want to be. Don't let anyone get in the way of that or tell you that you have to be a certain way or look a certain way or whatever. And like even when we were younger, like when we were like 5 or 6 or something, I think my parents were like putting us into sports. And my mom let us choose, and she was like, well, what do you want to do? Like, I think it was between like cheerleading or basketball or whatever. And I really wanted to play basketball, but all of my friends and my sisters were going to do cheerleading. And I was like, well, I kind of want to do cheerleading because everyone else is doing it. But like I knew that I really didn't want to do cheerleading.
Right.
My mom was like, you can do both. And I was like, no, I'll do basketball. And like that kind of, set the tone, I guess, for a lot of it. And I really did. I played basketball for a while and I really loved it. And I feel like it shaped, that sort of thing, like shapes who you are as a kid and as a teenager. But I don't know, I think it's something that, in terms of like being confident, I think it's something that, came from my childhood.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think my mom found like, I don't know if it was like a journal, and I didn't really keep a journal, but maybe I think I tried at certain times and it fell off. But I think it's like from when I was 10, and I like wrote in like a journal entry about how like fabulous I was and how like confident I was. Like I wrote this down on paper. Like she found it a few weeks ago. She was like, she's cleaning out closets.
How old were you?
I think I was like 10. And I was like, yeah, see, I was like, even back then, like I knew who I was. And my mom was like, yeah, you did. But I was kind of surprised to like see that. I was like, wow, that was.
What did you think when you saw that?
I don't remember writing that.
You're like, I am fabulous.
I was like, wow, I didn't realize like even when I was that young.
Right.
Excuse me, even when I was like that young, that I felt that way about myself. Because I think like growing up as a girl or boy or whatever, you're always trying to fit in and you're always trying to, be like everybody else or be someone else, or, you really just want people to like you.
Yeah.
And think you're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But I think, so I think a lot of people like, they try and figure out their identity, but I think.
So do you remember trying to fit in and like kind of, be accepted?
Yeah, I was like a bit of a tomboy when I was younger. And then, which was fine.
Is there a memory of you where you're like, I'm trying to fit in even though this isn't me? I mean, I know you brought up the cheerleading and basketball thing, but.
This is even younger. My mom put us all in dance class and like a gymnastics class. It was like a tumble class because we were like 4. And I hated it. And I was terrible at it. And I hated wearing like the recital outfits with like the tutu, and I was like 4.
Yeah.
And the makeup, and I remember being in gymnastics class with Carly, who later on was a gymnast. And I couldn't do any of it. I couldn't like do a cartwheel, I couldn't tumble, and I just hated it. And I never told my mom because I think I was like, well, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And also I was a young kid. And then years later, I told my mom, I was like, I hated dance school. I hated gymnastics. Like, it was torture for me, and I was terrible at it. And I hated all of it. She's like, well, I didn't know that. Like, why didn't you tell me? I was like, I just thought that, that's what I was supposed to be doing. I'm a kid. And so, yeah.